No one could believe it. A small dog dared to leap straight into the den of a full-grown lion, a place even humans feared to step inside. In that instant, every staff member at the wildlife sanctuary held their breath. The massive lion, with his golden mane, let out a low, pained growl. Around his neck, an old rope had tightened like a noose, cutting into his skin, leaving raw wounds that bled with every movement. Anyone watching knew one swipe of his paw, and the dog would be gone in a heartbeat. But the little dog didn't back down. Head lowered, body trembling, it crept closer with eyes that seemed to know exactly what it was doing. Then something happened that left everyone frozen. The lion did not attack. He stood still, as though waiting. And what followed was so unbelievable, so moving, that those who witnessed it could never forget. Stay until the end, because this ending will touch your heart in ways you never imagined. The story took place in a wildlife sanctuary in South Africa, a refuge for rescued big cats, once taken from circuses and illegal breeding farms. Among them was a fully grown male lion, nearly 200 kilograms, with a thick golden mane. Yet freedom had not erased his suffering. An old rope still cut deep into his neck, a cruel remnant from captivity. The pain left him restless and aggressive, impossible for anyone to approach. The other main character was a golden retriever, about 5 years old. His once shiny golden coat was now dusty and a little rough from wandering the sanctuary grounds. Gentle and loyal, he roamed freely, often seen following the rangers like a trusted companion. No one expected this friendly dog would one day dare to face a lion and change everything. That afternoon, keepers noticed the lion pacing violently inside his enclosure, claws raking against the metal bars. Blood stained the ground where the rope dug deeper into his flesh. His roars were raw with pain. No one dared enter. One wrong step, one swing of his paw, could mean instant death. Among the staff was a young caretaker named David, who stood outside helplessly. His heart broke at the sight, but he knew approaching was impossible. Then, without warning, the little dog darted past him and slipped inside. Gasps erupted. "No!" the keepers cried, expecting a bloody end. But instead of lunging, the lion froze. His chest heaved, golden eyes burning not with fury but with something no one expected. "Stop! Get back!" David shouted, panic rising. He moved to rush in and drag the dog away. But the dog kept walking slowly, tail tucked low, body trembling, yet eyes fixed on the great beast. The staff murmured in horror. One man whispered, "It'll be killed. No dog survives in there." Every instinct told them the same. This was suicide. Yet the lion did not pounce. He sank onto his haunches, panting heavily, his massive body slumping as though drained. Drops of blood trickled from his neck, soaking into the dirt. David gripped the bars, torn. He knew the lion couldn't survive much longer with that rope strangling him. But could a dog, this small, fragile creature, really make a difference? Or was tragedy about to unfold before their eyes? The dog crept closer to the lion's mane. Everyone held their breath. Then, the unthinkable happened. The lion stayed still, golden eyes softening. His growls turned to ragged breaths, filled with exhaustion and pain. David's heart pounded. Never in his life had he seen a lion, king of beasts, allow a dog so near. The dog lowered its head, teeth tugging gently at the rope, pulling at the knot embedded in flesh. The lion let out a deep, rumbling groan, but did not strike. He trusted. At that moment, David realized. The lion was surrendering. He was asking silently, desperately for help. And that realization pushed David to make the bravest choice of his life. He would go in and finish what the little dog had started. David drew a deep breath and unlocked the gate. His legs felt heavy, but he forced himself forward. The lion's golden eyes flicked toward him, yet the beast remained still, chest rising and falling with labored breaths. The dog looked up at David, eyes bright as if urging, "Help me finish this." Kneeling slowly, David placed one trembling hand on the lion's mane. To his astonishment, the lion closed his eyes. With his other hand, David pulled a small knife from his pocket. Together with the dog, who gnawed at the rope relentlessly, he began to cut. Fiber by fiber, the cruel knot loosened. Finally, with one last slice, the rope snapped free. The lion threw back his head and roared not with rage, but with relief, his voice echoing through the sanctuary. Outside the enclosure, staff members stood frozen. Several had tranquilizer guns raised, prepared for disaster. But the sight before them shattered everything they thought they knew. A lion, the fiercest of predators, sat calmly as a man and a dog freed him from pain. One woman gasped, tears welling. "He's letting them touch him." The lion paced once, twice, shaking his mane as bloodied fibers fell away. Then, to everyone's shock, he stopped beside the dog. Lowering his massive head, he pressed his muzzle gently against the little animal's back, a gesture so tender it silenced the crowd. Spontaneous applause erupted. Some staff clapped, others simply wept. They all understood. This moment wasn't just about saving a lion. It was about trust, born from the courage of a small dog. As the tension eased, the lion did something none of them could have predicted. He slowly lay down on the ground, rolling slightly onto his side. Exposing his vulnerable neck, he tilted his head toward David and the dog. The message was unmistakable. He wanted them to check him again. David swallowed hard, overwhelmed. "He's asking us to help," he whispered. The dog stepped forward first, licking gently at the raw wound. The lion did not flinch. Instead, he exhaled a long, low breath, a sigh of surrender. David's knife hand shook as he leaned in, carefully cleaning away the last strands of rope. Never had he felt so close, so connected, to an animal once thought untamable. In the days that followed, the lion's wound healed quickly. His mane grew thick again, covering the scar. But what amazed everyone wasn't just his recovery, it was his transformation. Each morning, the little dog ran into the enclosure, tail wagging. Instead of chasing it away, the lion welcomed him, lowering his head so they could nuzzle like old friends. Visitors to the sanctuary stopped in awe. Some moved to tears at the sight. A mighty lion resting peacefully beside a scrappy dog. The staff documented everything. This was no accident. It was a bond, forged in pain and sealed with trust. And all of it began with a moment of courage, when a small dog defied fear and walked into a lion's den. The story spread quickly, touching hearts far beyond the sanctuary. To many, it was proof that kindness could bridge even the widest divides. A rope once symbolized cruelty and captivity, yet the courage of a small dog turned it into a story of hope. By risking everything, the dog had saved the lion, and in return, gained a friend no one could have imagined. David often told visitors, strength isn't always about muscle or size. Sometimes, it's found in the smallest heart that refuses to give up. The image of the dog lying calmly beside the great lion, two creatures once worlds apart, became a symbol that lingered in memory. But if you think this story is the most miraculous, you haven't heard about a lion was about to fall off a cliff, but what the golden retriever did next left everyone in tears. Don't miss the video beside this one, because it made the whole world cry.